Hello and welcome to Gaia GPS. This is where we come and pull cards for the Astro week ahead. I am Mimi and I'm here with Nicole Oman.
Hello.
And we have a big week this week. We are building to a new moon this week. And this new moon energy is helping us build into like this grand cardinal, or not grand cardinal cross. I'm so used to saying grand cardinal cross. Grand mutable cross. So all the mutable signs, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, we're all kind of being stretched. And everybody else, as we are being stretched, is being stretched as well. We're kicking off this week with this underlying cross with the moon in Aries. So the moon shifted into Aries yesterday and will be shifting out tomorrow. So, you know, we're already halfway through this energy. But the major card that I pulled for this is this stress card. And I feel like with this cross energy, this stretching, plus the Aries aggression. When the moon is in Aries, emotions meet passion aggression. So it may be that feeling like I'm not getting to do what I want. Here's the outsider card. You're kind of being held outside what it is that you want. Those energies can come up, especially as we are being stretched. The cards I think that I pulled to help us with this is first, existence. Drop into yourself. Mars retrograde is so helpful in this energy because Mars retrograde is helping us hone our passion energy, you know, which really can reside in those lower chakras. So drop in, get out of your head in this, drop in and really feel your way through. Speaking of feeling your way through, that's the card that I pulled from the Wisdom of the Oracle, is the 11 card. Buy the book. And it's saying right now, it may feel a little dark. It may feel a little unknown. You may feel frustrated on your path, like you don't know where you're going. And this card is just saying, take one step at a time. Follow your instincts. Follow your heart. Follow the beat of your heart. Follow that internal guidance. And while as Aries may kind of like want to just dive in, do this, tune in to really to get into that energy. And from Goddess, I pulled Hathor, receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So if you are not able to come into, this is my next step, this is what I should do, that's another call to drop in, maybe meditate. Aries moon energy isn't necessarily meditation energy, but if you can tune in, the universe will guide you and help you figure out what that next step is for yourself. Nicole?
Yeah. Well, I have some cards here. The moon in Aries can stir up some things, and I feel like the moon in Aries is stirring. But, you know, of some of the things that are happening in the internet world and in the plant and, you know, the gorilla thing, and everybody's got their opinions and they're really aggressive about putting it out there. What it's telling you is the most powerful place that you can actually use this energy is maybe not just ranting on Facebook or ranting out in your world, but get quiet, get silent, because maybe what's going on in the world, and maybe in your own world, if that's not what's triggering you, is let's get quiet, because there's deeper stuff going on. And if you understand, if you really go in there and get quiet, get in that silent place, you might not find yourself reactionary, which, thank God, like there's so many people who are reactionary right now and in the planet in general. And maybe what's going on is maybe the reactionary needs to be here. Maybe the work is not out and just exploding opinions all over the place, but maybe the actual work is within, going back into the ordinary world and finding a creative solution, and not just boasting opinions all over the place. I'm sorry, I might sound, my own opinion is back there going, guys, relax. Like maybe there is a bigger solution, a creative solution, if you find and tap into that inner voice. Because just launching your opinions all over the place isn't actually helping anyone. Maybe what's going on is, and I have the right order card, is maybe everything, don't lynch me, is happening in right order. And what you really have to do is do the inner cleaning in yourself and in your home and put that energy into better use in something more productive. And maybe a creative solution will come up, or your inner voice will start to tinkle in and give you a solution that might be more productive instead of just arguing with everybody. Thank God. Because is the arguing doing anything? Probably not. But there is some way to take that aggressive or that anger or that Aries energy, that doer, oh, like there's injustice here. Instead of arguing with each other, maybe there is an right order. There is maybe an action that you can take that will be a creative solution that will actually help unravel an injustice. I don't know, maybe.
I agree. I think absolutely. And it's so fascinating because my cards for June really feel that way. So we move into June on Wednesday.
Well, one thing before there is a possibility of healing. Like the last thing I have to say is I pull, like this jump is like, there is healing. You just gotta unblock it. Yeah, sorry, go, sorry.
Oh, perfect. Yes to healing. And June is really in alignment with that energy. In line with Nikki's silence card for June, I pulled deep knowing. And this is a card that says in this card, get out of the fray out there and come in here to your own inner knowing. You know, and it's one of those things. It's so distracted. And I got to show you all the Osho cards I pulled. Patience, traveling, schizophrenia in reverse, thunderbolt in reverse, and then change. And I think it's saying, get out of these energies. Get out of the schizophrenia with this arguing back and forth. What's right? What's wrong? I really love the Rumi poem. Beyond right doing and wrong doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. We've got to let go of some of these tragedy energies, these things that stir us up, and the right and wrong, and instead get into ourselves and our deep knowing. And I really believe, you know, we come a lot of times from this human standpoint, and it's fair because we're human, of like, this is right and this is wrong and we should do this and we shouldn't do that. And yet the universe has this plan, and it's a beautiful plan, and it's unfolding. But sometimes we get a little impatient in the unfolding of it. And this is saying for June, instead, come into your patience, come into yourself. It may even be like, go see the world. Go find some good things out there in the world to open your mind to the miracles. Oh, here's the miracles. Here it is. To the miracles that are happening out there for you. You may have to come into yourself and then get out of this tiny view of the world to expand your vision, to understand the field beyond the right doing and wrong doing. You got to travel to that field because we get lost in that fray and we find ourselves, you know, battling each other. We're the enemies and we're on different sides and we're tug of warring. And the Astro right now is asking us to expand beyond that. So June is going to be helping us. And ultimately, I love this energy of Mother Mary for June. Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Have faith. Your prayers have been heard and are being answered. But, you know, she's kind of, I think Mother Mary kind of brings a Kuan Yin kind of energy of compassion. And I think with all the stuff that's going on, especially within ourselves, with this cross, with this stretching that's happening, we need some compassion. And so bring that. And if you can't bring it, then travel so you can find some compassion, because there's a lot of the world that can make us see, oh, there's some more things to focus on besides these little things. Nicole?
I love where we're going with this. And, this is a big issue going into, like as we move through this year and get to November and go to the elections, I've been seeing a lot of negativity right now on the internet, a lot of everybody thinking they know what's right and blah, blah, blah. And like, this is my candidate and I'm not going to do this, and the gorilla thing and that. But all of it, if you really dive deep into it, going into all these things that we have an opportunity to, you can go into the me against the world or me against them mentality, or you could take a step back and find that beyond that, there's better solutions, better ways to handle ourselves, in a more mature way. And, you know, as we go into June, we have, you know, the California primaries for the Democrats and all of that going on. There's things being stirred and heated. And I mean, the astrology is everything's happening perfectly. And I can see, you know, everybody has their point of view and everybody's valid in their point of view, but that still doesn't create solution. You know, that's what the planets are doing right now, is they all have their perspective, and guess what? They're all lovely and they're all valid, but there's something else deeper in there. There's a connection. There's a connect the dots. The through line is in there, but we have to get out of seeing it small. And I also have the traveling card. And one thing that I've learned in my own travels, I've lived in India, I've been to Peru, I've been in poverty, I've been in, I've been in wealth. And what I've noticed is everybody has a particular perspective based off of where they grew up, what culture, all of these different things. And the beauty of traveling is you start to have compassion for these other ways of being. What I've learned in India is they had nothing, but man, were they the most grateful people I've ever met in my life. They had nothing but a cow. They milk it and give you the milk and the fruit off their tree. They had nothing, but they'd give it to you. And then I come here and we have more than enough, and we're scared that everybody's going to take everything from us, and we're not grateful, and all we want is more. And what's interesting of that, and I'm not doing any, I'm not having judgment on it, it's just an observation, but what I learned by traveling is it brought a lot of gratitude in my life of what I had, and that I was able to let go, and I could live on more simplicity, which brought less stress in my life. And so what I'm getting in this is that we have to get out of this keeping up with the Joneses, the comparison, the comparing our lives to others, or not thinking we have enough, or not thinking our life is enough, and start, I have the possibility card in reverse, and what that means, it's, this eagle flying over the mountain, having a bird's eye view, having a different perspective, seeing things in a different way, not being on the ground, but really seeing the forest through the trees, seeing the bigger picture, because there's more things going on than what's in front of your face. So be open, be aware. You have that traveling mindset. Even if you're not traveling, travel to someone else's perspective. Imagine, I used to do this meditation where I'd see a helicopter in the air, and I would pretend I was a helicopter pilot, being in that perspective, seeing things in someone else's point of view. And you might actually find compassion for the shoes that they walk through. And then we all can start, I know I sound like a hippie, but we all can start getting along a little bit more, and stop feeling so betrayed by the other person's point of view, or feeling so isolated around someone else's point of view. That's just icing our hearts and making us be in our little bubble and thinking that we know better. It's like, you got to be careful, because if you're on your high horse or on your soapbox, and the higher you are on that horse, the universe will go, and the higher you're up, and you think you are, the harder you're going to fall. So be careful about that inflated ego, that you know what's best for everybody's lives, because what happens, and I'm sorry I'm preaching a little bit, but what I'm getting is, it's time to start seeing each other and really having more compassion for that. I have the immunity card, so don't worry, you're safe, you're protected, you're not going to get, if you have someone else's point of view, it might shatter your world, but in a good way. You're protected, everything's good. And I feel a really good rejuvenation from this, a possible rebirth of maybe having more kindness, So even the things that are going on in the world that feel very powerless, things are processing the way that they need to. And in June, we might start seeing this. And hopefully, maybe a little bit of open-mindedness and growth. I'm hoping. I pray for our humanity right now. But yes, So I'm hoping.
No, you're so good. It's so good. I'm like laughing as I'm sitting here looking at my cards for the moon shifting into Taurus in June. I've got Observer, which is all about perspective. I've got Possibilities. I've got Mother Earth, and I've got some other things. I've got Innocence, and I feel like I'm gonna just regurgitate Nikki's message with this moon in Taurus. It's like, get out of the minutia, get out of these details. I'm gonna read you the Observer card because like literally one of the themes as she's like saying this, it's perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. The Oracle's message: most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only realities. There are times when you need to distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle that you seek and will indeed find. And, you know, I just think that's what all these cards are saying. I'm getting tuned in reverse. This isn't a call to go in. It's a call for understanding and observation. Look at this old man with the bug. You know, he's like, I'm observing this. I'm seeing this from your perspective. I'm not just a helicopter. I'm a katydid or grasshopper. Here it is, this perspective card. And I think, again, the Mother Earth card along with this is like, get out in nature. Even if you cannot understand from the perspective of seeing another person, that may be too hard. But what if you go and look at the world through the eyes of a tree, or the eyes of an ant, or the eyes of your cat? I don't know if you can hear my cat howling in the distance right now, but he would like you to see the world through his eyes because it's pretty magical out there to him. Moon in Taurus, this is the dark of the moon. It may feel a little intense, but if you can connect and see the world through these other eyes, through the eyes of the earth, through the eyes of this, everything's always working out, everything's okay, I think that's going to really help with this dark of the moon. And I think, like Nikki said, we're all going to be a kumbaya hippie thing right now. It'll help us come together. So, I mean, my message echoes hers, so I'm not going to go any further with it because then I'll just start repeating you even more. So I'm passing it off to you for this moon in Taurus.
Come together right now. Over. And you know what I am feeling, and I know we usually do personal message, but I have the love card, and it has this planet with this heart around it. I'm getting that this is right now, we're all in a bit of a cooker of learning how to love each other a little better and how to respect each other a little better, how to respect the planet a little better. This is like master lesson on all levels for everyone, is we're learning how to show up for each other in a different way. So yeah, we might not be going into, you know, that personal message we usually do, but this is a big, I mean, we're getting it potent. So this is what I'm getting on this. So as I get the love card, here's the individual. And so I've said this before, and a channel that I really like, his name is Bashar, Daryl Anka channels this being Bashar, and he says, we are one, and we are one, and we are one, and we are one. Meaning we're an individual, but we are a collective, and we are one, and we're a collective, one. So we are one, and we are one. And that your perspective and your, the way that you show up to other people in this way is very important, because what you do is you sow a pathway in the collective to have more understanding. So when you break free of your judgments and having more of those compassions, or breaking free of your own perspective and realize it's just an illusion based off of the personality that you've come in this lifetime, you start to get closer to the collective viewpoint of the world, that observer. The observer perspective, that neutral, it's actually, that's the one mind, the all-seeing eye, if you will, not the thing that, you know, like the government Big Brother thing, but like the all-seeing conscious eye is the observer eye. And that is like the Buddha, the Buddha perspective, or the Christ perspective, which is the heart, which is love. And so if you can get into that observer mind and see things in a neutrality, you break yourself free of the confines, of the cages that we have, of the things society tells us and all these other things that keep us. We think we have freedom, but we don't. We still have the confines of the ego and the egoic mind in a negative way. So the more that you have breakthroughs, you help everybody. Yay! So this is not in vain. All the work that you do to get into this witness, get into this witnessing perspective and this observer perspective, the neutral perspective, you break free of the confines of the illusion of this third dimensional viewpoint that we have. And when you do that, we have more compassion, more love on this planet. We all ascend together. They're telling me, you know, gone are the days where we're just having the Buddha break free or the Christ consciousness break free. They did that to sow the path of what's going on here right now in this very important time where we're all breaking free together. This is a second coming, if you will, because their mastery is within us, and all we have to do is tap into it. And they're sitting there waiting for us to just call them in to help, which when we do, you see more and more people evolve. This is a great time of evolution, and know that you have the power now is a perfect time as we all break free together, break through together. And so not just these individuals are ascending, we all do it together. And that is how we break free of the confines. So history doesn't repeat itself. Rome imploded, you know, Greece imploded, Egypt imploded, all these things, and history repeats itself. We're a great country again. We're a great world again. We have a collective brain with the internet to allow us all to evolve together. Let's use it. It's up to you to have that perspective within you so you can teach others and hold that vibration so we all evolve together.
Yes.
Sorry, that channeled through. Boom. Sorry.
Nope, sorry. Good. Yes. Yes, we accept. I keep laughing because you pull a card and then I'm like, I have that card for the next thing. Like there is a through line for sure with our reading today. I love it. So our next element that we have is the moon shifting into Gemini on Friday. And this moon shifting into Gemini is bringing us closer into this grand mutable cross energy that's happening really strongly with this new moon. So the new moon, or not the new moon, the moon in Gemini. I love some of these cards I've got. I'm going to start with this. Time for a nap. And here's why. Because breakthrough, because rebirth, because awareness, because the rebel, adventure, and the fool. Because Abraham. Because sometimes this is too much for your brain to handle. And the moon in Gemini brings up the emotions and your mind. And with everything that's going on, you may be wanting to try to figure out, you may be trying to figure out this expansion. What are my beliefs? How have my beliefs shifted? What is my body feeling? What is my mind telling me? What's my heart telling me? What's my soul telling me? And you're wanting to figure this all out. And the universe is like, you can't get this here. You gotta relax, take a nap, unconditionally love yourself and anybody else that's around you through this shift, and just relax and let it happen. You know, sometimes we want to take control, we want to take it over, and the universe is like, this is all happening, but like, ease back. You don't have to take the reins so strong on this one. Ease back, relax, let the universe channel this through you, because if you try to figure out here, you're probably going to stall yourself. I think you're going to get it eventually here, but right now, the way these energies are shifting, you just need to ease back and let that energy all come for you and come through you. I think that's the most important thing, because it's a big shift. It's a big moment of rebirth. I know a lot of people, myself included, feel like it's kind of a crossroads with this stretching. We're being asked to expand our minds to accept and believe things that we haven't been able to believe, that we haven't been able to grip. And so if you're in that place, chances are the only one stopping you is you. And so that's what Abraham's like. If you're feeling that energy, go take a nap. And so that may be your best friend in this energy, in the dark of the moon. Not getting sucked into that energy of fear, not getting sucked into that energy of like, the universe is tearing me apart, trying to make me decide, you know, like that schizophrenia card, this way or this way. Take a nap. And you know, we do this. That's a natural thing. People are like, I'll sleep on it. Sometimes you just wake up and the universe has done its thing, or it comes through your dreams. Don't be afraid to relax in, especially if you're at that point where you're like, I don't know what to do. I need a breakthrough. Relax, take it easy. It's all coming. Nicole?
I love that advice, because really, when you are, what do kids do when they grow? They sleep a lot. I have a 4-year-old. I know when she's going through a growth spurt, she eats and sleeps. She gets a little cranky, right? So if we're in, if we are having, and what's going on the planet right now, and I believe this very much to be true, especially with the cards that I've pulled, is that in this moment we are going through a collective growth, a collective expansion. And a lot of us are going to be freaking cranky. And what happens when we're cranky? Weird shit happens in the world. Like, let's go to sleep, take a nap, let it happen. So the energies that I have the Master card and I have the Starseed card. So this is what they're telling me is, and for whatever reason, I've been hearing messages very, very clear lately, is that they are pumping in a lot of these Grand Cross kind of energies. Is they're trying to connect some oppositions, some opposing beliefs. So one of my mentors, Russell, said something beautiful. Pain is love confused. And so when we're suffering and we have pain or these issues are happening, love is confused. And the only reason why we have confusion is we have two ideas that are combating each other. We have two belief structures that are opposing each other. And the hard thing is somebody wants to be right. I'm going to take the gorilla situation, being neutral about it. I'm going to take the neutral stance at this moment because I am. I'm going to be the witness mind. And I'll be right in the center of it. And you have the zoo's perspective, the mother's perspective, the child's perspective, and the gorilla's perspective. Think of that as the Grand Cross. If you're not attached to one of their perspectives, they all have a point of view that is valid and is right in their world. So what do you do when everybody's right and everybody's wrong? We let it unravel because there's nothing else you can do. You start pulling yourself away and see the bigger perspective and realize that gorillas are dying in the wild every day because of poachers. Whew. What's the bigger problem? The bigger problem is the consciousness of the human condition. That's where you start. Bam. That's the bigger picture. And that is where, I got the Fool card, we let go of what we think we know and we start being the zero, the witness. We stop coming from ego and realizing we have to come together to help each other and help the planet, right? So what I'm getting, and then I have this trust card, and what they're doing with this starseed energy, with this master energy, is they're going, we're trying to grow you. We're trying to grow you and not fight you. We're trying to make you guys not fight each other. That's the problem, right? We all wish that there are not wars and we're in peace. Well, we're still fighting ourselves. We're still fighting a war within. We're fighting each other. We're fighting our brothers and sisters and friends and this and that. Not to say that, whatever, but it's all about perspective. So we have to grow the consciousness before we start seeing these issues resolving themselves. Because you can't solve an issue from the consciousness, thank you, Einstein, from the consciousness it was created. We have to come from a different perspective. And that's what's happening on the planet right now, is we're getting a collective perspective change, and it might make you cranky. So just take a nap. Eat some yummy food, some nourishing food, and take a nap and have a growth spurt. Let's have a growth spurt party, guys.
Woo! Everyone in for naps. We've just given you permission for nap time. I love it. All right, so then with that, we move into the new moon in Gemini. This is happening at 14 degrees. It's happening at 8 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday evening. The new moon is a time when the sun and the moon are in alignment. And in this case, we actually have Venus also in alignment right there at 14 degrees. So sun, moon, Venus, all lighting up this energy. Venus lighting up your worth in alignment with these new moon seeds, intentions that we're setting. But at the same time, this is really activating this grand mutable cross. So we've got all that energy at 14. We've got that energy right across from Saturn in Sagittarius at 13. And Saturn in Sagittarius at 13 is squaring Jupiter in Virgo at 13. Or is Jupiter may have moved to 14 by that time. I think Jupiter will have shifted to 14 by that time. And then Neptune hanging out at 12. So 12, 13, 14 degree mutable energy is really lit up in this cross, asking us to expand. And, you know, the cards I got with this are so interesting. Just where to start with this. I'm going to start with my Wisdom of the Oracles card, because I think this is like kind of one of the hearts of the matter. You hear it, Lala?
Yeah, loud.
Yeah, she's playing with her mousies, and when she plays with her mousies, she gets this really distressed meow because she's like, "This is the best thing I've ever done." And so you may hear her some more because she's playing, frantically playing. So I'm gonna start with this card, TikTok, and I'm gonna read this card because again, this is so fascinating. I think this is one of the things that is gonna help us shift in this energy. So the Oracle's message: when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order were happening right now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life that you desire. So release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape every moment to your expectations, knowing that when or what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always will show up when you need them, right on time. And I love this card in this energy because I've pulled some crazy cards with this.
Well, I think that says it all, Mimi. Like,
I know.
that is just boom.
It is. It's so boom because like I pulled the dream, the card of romance in reverse. I pulled suppression. I pulled conditioning. I pulled slowing down. I mean, the cards are all over the place. Past lives, totality, completion, integration. Going with that card. Integration. I think that's the thing. In this energy, stop shoulding all over it. You don't have to should. This should be better. This should be doing this. All you need to do is come into yourself, integrate within yourself, come home to you, find your inner peace, and let this unravel. Let the world work. Do your own stuff. Allow yourself to open, allow yourself to be stretched, and you're allowing maybe as easy as going back into that energy that we talked about with that moon in Gemini yesterday, taking a nap. That's all you need to worry about right now. Not even worry about, that's all you need to focus on right now is that allowing. And stop getting caught up in these conditions of time and these conditions of everything. You know, the world, we're so dramatic as humans. We are drama queens, all of us. I don't care if you say you don't like drama. We're all drama queens, and we all get sucked up into that drama. And this Astro feels pretty dramatic. It does feel very stretching. But what you need to do is just be present with yourself. Find that peace within yourself. Integrate your lessons. And don't put human conditions on this universal unfolding, because I promise it's glorious, even if we can't see its gloriousness. Nicole?
I feel like I got a reading for me in all of this mess. Okay, So, because I'm like, this feels like for me. So new moon energy. Let's see. Okay. So I'll start with this. I'm going to go in the theme. I have the experience card. Your power lives in just realizing it's all an experience. And that the meaning of life literally is experience. Because why not? Why wouldn't we have these experiences? Like, the meaning of life is just to experience it. So if you don't take it so personally, and if you don't get and realize, I love the Shakespeare quote, life is but a stage and men are merely the players. We have our entrances and exits. And we're all here to play a role. No, and the beautiful thing is we're all actors in this game of life playing a role. This lifetime I'm playing Nicole Oman. This lifetime Mimi's playing Mimi Clark. And we come in and we do our roles and we play them as well as we can. And we're so in the moment that we get so dramatic about it, as she was talking about. We all love the drama. We wouldn't be on this planet if we didn't, because we have, and we wouldn't love Shakespeare and we wouldn't love storytelling because it's dramatic. Imagine watching a movie had no drama in it. Why would we watch it? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If there was no, like, Threshold Guardians and there was no da-da-da, like, we wouldn't watch the movies. They would be boring as really, and we wouldn't read books. We want to see people go through adversity. We want to go through adversity because something in our soul loves it. We feel like we're learning and growing and expanding, but more than anything, we're experiencing. We're experiencing the beauty of all the colors of life. That integration card has like every color, and we integrate it in, and it becomes, they have all the colors of the rainbow into the yin yang, the white, the light, and the dark. It's all totality of experience. So come from a place of, it's an experience. I saw a meme the other day that said, when something bad happens into your life, yell plot twist and move on. Just know that it's an experience that you need, and take it as an experience. Because if not, you're going to stress yourself out trying to control.
I literally just pulled that at the same time.
Right? And I got the politics card, but really I love the mask here, because the mask is saying, like the acting thing that I just said, remember, you're playing roles, and the more masks that you uncover, your true self will come out, and you will be able to realize your life is just a beautiful long adventure, and it's a journey of different processes, and that we never really get to a destination, because if you think about it, commitment, but also the infinity symbol, the universe, the existence itself is infinite. It's that pie, right? It's like it keeps going and keeps going. And it's like there is no destination to creation. There is no destination. So if there's no destination, let's just be here now. TikTok the time, right? It's like it's all happening now. It's all your experience. I know these are really big concepts, but if you really can feel into them, you're always in this constant experience. And so then you can take them as, instead of the world's against me, oh, it's just another experience. Oh, okay, another experience. And we just have these layers of experience, and you may actually even be able to enjoy your life if you see it that way. Even no matter what's going on, you might be able to enjoy, or at least appreciate, the hard times and the good times, and all the layers in between. And what I get too is, like, commit to your life. Come into all the experiences, the good ones, the bad ones, the hard ones, the uncertain ones, the scary ones. Commit to them, because they're life, and it's great. And if you come at that with this new moon in Gemini, with Gemini, of course, perspective, right? And with this new perspective, because the twins see like both sides of everything, Trust me, I know I'm a freaking Gemini rising. But this new moon in Gemini, if you intend to have these new perspectives in your life and just to experience your life in that way, you'll be able to find success in a different way. Success might not be what you think it is. Success might be enjoying your life, no matter what.
Boom. Mic drop. I have to say that between Nicole and I, and both of our Gemini risings, and the Sagittarius, Virgo, and the other stuff, you are getting about 7 perspectives in and through this reading. So, you know.
And plus all the other beings that are like talking through us and like blah, blah, blah. So
Lala and Mahalo, who both had a lot to say throughout this as well. So.
Well, that's great because we have all 12 perspectives, all the signs in the zodiac, you know, and because of that, you know, and we all agree, just experience it.
And take a nap.
Just don't figure it out. Just fall asleep.
Exactly. So our final aspect of the week is the moon shifting into Cancer on Sunday. It's going to be Sunday evening, late evening, that it's going to be shifting. And I love these cards that I pulled for that. I pulled Healing, I pulled Clean It Up, and I pulled Cycles and Rhythms and a few others. I pulled the Stress card in reverse, Nothingness and Intensity. More than anything, intensity in reverse. Stress and intensity are in reverse. So the moon in Cancer is going to be like, phew, we did that. The hardest part is over. Now we've got to clean it up. Now this is when the work comes in all of this energy, in sorting through like, wow, what just happened? Who am I now? Where am I at? What are these possibilities that have been brought to me through this shift? And it's not about getting stressed out. It's not about being in your head. It's not intensity with these cards. Wow. She's hilarious. Anyways, that's Lala, Cancer rising, having her saying this. It's just going to be like, okay, who am I now? What vibration am I at now? And just figure out those cycles and rhythms and allow yourself to nurture yourself through anything that came up through this experience. So it doesn't have to be hard, but show up for yourself. This is when those naps came in handy, because now the universe is like, all right, we've been through, we've reached the peak of the mountain. And so now we're going to do the work. We're going to do this cleaning up work, and we're going to show up for what the universe has brought through this energy. So really, Cancer moon energy, nurture yourself. Take care of yourself. Cross your T's, dot your I's, show up for yourself the way you would, you know, if you were a newborn and you needed your mom. Show up for yourself in that way to nurture yourself through any of these shifts that you've just gone through. Nicole?
Remind me, Mimi, that I have to tell you something after we're done. Like,
okay.
I just had this weird thing happen. Okay. So I'll tell you later. Sorry. Remind me.
I will.
Off subject. Okay. So what I'm getting with this Cancer moon, I'm getting Dance Through the Storm. I have this fairy magic card, which is like this play card and dance and like really enjoy yourself. And then I have the storm card. And I have this sorrow card. And I have the master card with it. And I have the dream in reverse and postponement in reverse. I have some cards. But what I'm getting is like the sorrow's coming up, but it's like dance through the storm. Don't be so heavy about it. There's a different way to, because I know that Cancer energy can be very emotional and things come up, but they're saying like, see the storm in another way. And one of the things that I learned when I was in India, I was going through some really dark sorrow, deep, 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 like past life, old, beautiful sorrow, right? And I'm sitting outside and I'm sitting on the roof of the temple there. And I'm looking at the sunset and I just started weeping because there was these beautiful, dark, violet, purple clouds in the distance. And behind it was this, the array of colors were unbelievable. And what, it was like gold and the light was behind the clouds. And what I realized is that was a painting of what was going on within me. That was the very manifestation of the sorrow, the depths of the sorrow that was going on in that very moment. And I started weeping, but I was also laughing at the same time because I realized the depth of the beauty that was the actual feeling of sorrow beyond like getting too attached to the actual feeling of sorrow and just being in sorrow for sorrow's sake. And I realized that it contained a massive amount of creativity, a massive amount of miracles and beauty to have that experience. And I was grateful. I had the depth of gratitude for my sorrow because I could feel. I could feel it, and I could feel the colors, and I could feel everything. And it was the most beautiful thing. And that's mastery. When you have a different, when you can actually enjoy the things that we feel are hard, when you can enjoy your sorrow, is mastery. So see if you can connect to that moon in Cancer and whatever comes up. Enjoy it. Feel it in a different way. Paint it. That's art. Paint your anger. Paint your sorrow. Paint your joy. Sing your joy. Sing your sorrow. Have you ever heard of a song that has like intense sorrow coming? Like they're actually feeling the song and it moves you. It gives you tingles up your spine. It moves you to the place of your own weeping sorrow. God, that's art. That is transformative art. Create. Have fun in your experiences. The sad, the angry, all of it. That's creation. That's where you create from. And you can move people to the core of their soul if you can find that place. And that's what I get. Allow yourself to create magic, fairy magic, through your storm. That's it.
That's a great way to end this week because this week is really, it's stretching. It's intense. So that's perfect. I love that. I love that as our closing. So that being said, I'm offering my reading special 30 for 30 all the way through the end of this week, all the way through this new moon. So if you want to dive into that energy or you just want to know what's going on in your chart, this is your time to do it. You can even book one for the future or as a gift, whatever. But I'm leaving that sale up through Sunday. So after the new moon on Sunday evening, I'm going to take it down. So now's the time to do that. And you can go to GaiaBlooming.com to order that. And I know Nicole has some stuff going on too.
Yeah, so I haven't been able to do the free reading Monday. I actually got a job, you guys. Whoa, I'm a big kid now. But I'm actually doing readings, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a big kid thing. I'm just working at a bookstore. So on Monday nights, I'm actually going to change it probably to Sunday nights. But today, I'm actually doing the free reading Tuesday. I'm also keeping my special up. I've been keeping it up. It's $50 to get a reading from me for half an hour and $80 for an hour. And with the 80, I'm doing like some of it, most of the time I'm doing like a session. So you get a reading and like a meditation or a session or whatever you're needing. I have a lot of these tools that are needing to be shared with people. And so I feel as though people are booking readings because they need a certain thing to break free of a pattern in their life. So if you're interested in that, that's really cheap for a session for me. I'm usually more than double that. So if you're feeling like you need a reading and a little bit of an extra, that's a really great way to go. And I'm not going to do it for a lot. I'm going to see Mimi in about a week and a half, and after that, I'm going to put my prices back up. So
you're going to be in a week. It's a week. Yeah, who knows how we're going to come to you next week. I haven't decided that yet, but that's awesome. I highly recommend a session with Nicole. And check out her free readings tonight on Facebook. You can find her on Facebook on her Facebook page. She'll also post a link on Gaia Blooming Facebook page. So go check that out in just a little bit. And, be easy on yourself through this week. No need to, I was talking about something today and I was like, those times when you're like struggling in the water and you're doggy paddling, you're like frantic, and then you put your feet down, you're like, oh, I'm held. Oh, I have footing. I'm okay. I think this week's energy is kind of like that. So put your feet down, round in, you've got this. So that is it. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.
Namaste.